When I was introduced to ballet, I was an extremely introverted and shy young girl. Yeah, I think that it was already a part of who I am, my personality, but it was also my experiences as a young person. You know, having so much instability, constantly moving. I mean, I think I had 4 stepfathers, and I shut down, and I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to be seen. Was a teacher who invested in me, who saw potential in me, gave me opportunity and gave me access, and kept saying, no, come back. I see potential in you. Like, this is something that you can take bigger than you could ever imagine. She said I was going to be dining with presidents and kings and queens and dancing on the world stages. And I just thought, you know, I'm living in a motel at this moment with my single mom and 5 siblings. Like, there's no way this is possible. But, you know, it was really about preparing me to become an amazing human being who is going to thrive in society, in different communities. And it was through ballet that I could get to that place. I got so much criticism and negative feedback on this trajectory, you know, being the only Black woman at American Ballet Theater for over 10 years and coming up against so much adversity, and just remembering I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I love to do, and not to let other people's words come in and affect that. By being a part of something that teaches you resilience and discipline and grace and humility when you're having to put yourself out there and be vulnerable, collaboration and community, having to follow, also having to lead, having to be a part of a team, also then being an individual and maybe dancing by yourself sometimes. These, I think, are all important leadership skills.
All of a sudden, it's as though someone turns on a light switch and the levels of anxiety and depression skyrocket, especially in girls. And so I'm trying to figure out what changed. By 2015, they've traded in their flip phones for smartphones with a front-facing camera, high-speed internet, and super addictive, super viral social media on the phone, which wasn't possible in 2010. Imagine if when we went to school, they said, you can bring in your television set, your VCR, your guitar, your paint by numbers, Play-Doh, whatever you want. Bring it in, play with it during class. I mean, that's completely insane. And of course, you wouldn't be able to learn anything. And that's what's happened since 2012. no smartphone before age 14, or high school in the United States, but age 14. No social media until age 16. Social media is wildly inappropriate for children. Talking with strangers, getting addicted. When schools do this, what they all say is that we hear laughter in the hallways again. They say the lunchroom is loud again, because for the last 10 years, it's been mostly kids just staring down. And this is a big reason why they are so lonely. The more you connect a generation by digital technology, the lonelier they are. The fourth norm is far more free play and independence in the real world. If we're going to take them off of the screens for 10 to 15 hours a day, we've got to give them back fun, excitement, adventure, play, real life.
There's a lot of ways in which space technology fundamentally supports our quality of life on Earth, and that comes from kind of an ambition to go and explore the stars. There is I think, a lack of appreciation for how fundamentally our life is enabled by space. Your smartphone works the way it works because it has a GPS-enabled chip that connects to a system of satellites that are orbiting the Earth. If you get satellite TV, that is coming from a satellite that is 36,000 kilometers away out in space, that is beaming that transmission to your dish. If we were not investing in the original return to the moon, we would not have had the semiconductor revolution that we have enjoyed. Even though the semiconductors were invented outside of NASA, in the early 60s, NASA rockets and other rockets were 75% of all global demand for semiconductors. That allowed the whole industry to scale at a much more rapid pace. The vast majority of economic growth in the 20th century came from advances in technology, came from productivity improvements. So space is one of the ways in which governments around the world seek that productivity improvement and channel it through mission-focused investments like going to space.